The uncomfortable truth, waiting for the financial system to magically fix itself isn't just wishful thinking, it's actively sabotaging your own wealth. Do you ever look at your finances and feel like you're stuck playing a losing game? Your opponent's chess pieces can fly, while yours are practically super glued to the board. The ever-widening gap between the ultra-wealthy and everyone else is not an accident. It's a clear sign the system is imbalanced, making you question whether you can even win at this game. But here is the game-changing twist. Understanding how the deck is stacked is the first crucial step to learning how to stack it back in your favor. That's what this is about. Not complaining, but conquering. Today, I'm handing you the powerful battle plan to do just that. And you absolutely want to stick around through every minute because I'm also exposing the #1 financial blunder that quietly sabotages most people. It is time to learn the rules they don't teach you at school and start building your financial fortress. Let's get into it. If you're new here, hi, I'm Daniel. I went from broke waiting tables in my 20s to tech, finance, and 7-figure wealth by my mid-30s. Now I'm here to make money simple so you can win faster. We gotta start this video with the fact that powerful players like the current rules. Entire economies like Ireland's or even US states like Wyoming and South Dakota have built significant industries around offering tax loopholes and financial secrecy. These places become havens for wealth, and they will fight tooth and nail to protect that status. Just look at Ireland battling the European Union for years to avoid collecting billions in back taxes from Apple. They basically said, thank you for the suggestion, Europe, but our national sport is competitive tax avoidance, and we are going for gold. And of course, some of the wealthiest individuals on the planet own the dominant communication platforms, the new public squares. Elon Musk with X, Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook. If your wealth benefits massively from the current tax structures, are you going to champion narratives calling for radical tax reform on your platforms? It's kind of like asking a dragon to lead a seminar on fire safety in a village made of straw. It's unlikely to end well for the villagers. And politicians, let's just say money doesn't just talk in politics. It practically screams through a bullhorn. Policies that might challenge entrenched wealth face an uphill battle against a tidal wave of lobbying. You will see politicians suddenly championing the vital importance of some obscure tax loophole with the passion of a convert, usually right after a closed-door meeting and a very open checkbook. Case in point, ex-senator from Arizona, Kyrsten Sinema, saving the carried interest loophole. So expecting politicians to dismantle a system benefiting their biggest backers? Yeah. Don't cancel your other plans. Then there's international institutions, the World Trade Organization or the United Nations, supposedly there for fair play. Often, they've been so weakened or their rules so bent by powerful nations, they end up as financial referees who have had their whistles confiscated. And now they're just politely asking everyone if they could please try to foul a little bit less. Calling them toothless is an insult to actual teeth. These are more like decorative marshmallows in the shape of authority. So against this backdrop of tax evasion, what has the hegemon, the US itself, done? Well, it plays a very selective game of financial refereeing. It brought the hammer down with the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, FATCA, forcing global banks to report on American citizens to stop their tax dollars from disappearing. But US tech giants minimizing taxes in Europe, costing those countries billions? Suddenly, it's less financial justice and more, hey, as long as our team is winning, let's not look too closely at their fancy footwork. Okay, Brussels? Now, there has been some movement in this space. The Biden administration managed to pass a 15% global minimum corporate tax, a genuine breakthrough, like the first raindrop after a 50-year drought. But look how long it took. Trying to get significant financial reform to happen quickly is like waiting for your microwave to also do your taxes and walk your dog. Technically capable with enough improbable advancements, but probably not happening before dinner. So while we should push for political change, banking on sweeping reforms to save your financial future is an awful bet. A bet that has lost for the last 50 years. The system is entrenched with powerful defenders deeply resistant to fundamental change. But this is not a counsel for despair. It's a call for radical realism. If waiting for systemic perfection is a high-stakes gamble with your future, the urgent question becomes that of a stoic philosopher. What can you control? How do you build financial strength in this world starting today? Because that is where your power lies. And if you're already feeling that this battle for your financial future is one you are ready to fight and you want clear, actionable strategies to do so, then make sure you subscribe right now and ring that bell notification button. Because this channel is about both the 30,000 view of the economy plus the kind of practical knowledge that will help you win. And while you're hitting that subscribe button, also hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. So back to our blueprint. We need to make capital work for us aggressively and intelligently. It's a 5-pronged attack. Number 1, embrace radical urgency for true freedom and your first $100,000. This is non-negotiable. Why urgency? Because investing buys your freedom. Every dollar working for you is future autonomy. The legendary Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's partner, famously said,
"The hard part of the process for most people is the first $100,000. If you have a standing start at zero, getting together $100,000 is a long struggle."
The first 100,000 is a bitch, but you gotta do it. He meant you need intense focus to hit that first major milestone. Why 100,000? It is a psychological tipping point. It's where the magic of compounding really starts to flex. When you realize your $100,000 is making you $10,000 each year, it flips a switch in your brain. Let me be clear. Getting there is hard. It might mean saying no to a lot of shiny things. Think of your discretionary spending as a leaky faucet. Each unnecessary purchase is a drop, and while one drop seems insignificant, over time, the continuous leak drains your financial resources, hindering your ability to water your savings garden and nourish your long-term financial goals. Crucially, if you want to be motivated, internalize the 8th wonder of the world, compound interest, and the time value of money. To get this, I recommend downloading a free compound calculator. Our brains love simple straight lines, but wealth, crucially, grows exponentially. It is the difference between climbing a staircase and strapping yourself to a rocket. Both get you higher, but one has a slightly better view and gets you there before your knees give out. The earlier you pull together this $100,000, the easier your life will be. If you invest $100,000 by the age of 25, with the average annual return of the S&P 500, a fund with America's top 500 companies in it, that $100,000 will grow to around $5 million by age 65 if you don't touch it. Invest that same $100,000 by age 35 and it'll turn to $1.9 million by age 65. If you only manage to invest it by age 45, by the time you retire, it will be just $730,000. And if you only manage to get there by age 55, you'll get just $270,000 by the time you retire. Time and initial investments are the only free lunch in investing. Warren Buffett once said, "If you can spend less than you earn and invest it for a long time, you can't help but get rich in America." When I started working at Google in 2010, I took this to heart. I focused on both my top line and my bottom line, continuing to work as a sleepover security guard in a warehouse in London. That allowed me to minimize my rent to $200 a month. I ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner during the week at Google, and I biked to work. This allowed me to invest and pull together $100,000 in just 3 years on a wage of only £36,000. So I know what the sacrifice feels like, and it's not easy. But now, 10 years later, I'm incredibly glad that I did it. So I urge anyone to get going. It's a bitch, but the sooner you start it, the easier your life will be. Number 2, you need to weaponize your G, your income engine. Your labor income, your G, is your primary capital generator. Treat your career like a high-performance engine you're constantly tuning. Target companies and industries with high margins, where talent is key. Become indispensable. Negotiate hard and continuously upskill. Don't just be a cog in the machine. Aim to be the person they call when the machine breaks down and starts making weird shrieking noises and shooting sparks. That is job security. And leverage. Make your G as big and efficient as possible. And for some of you, weaponizing your G might eventually mean entrepreneurship, building your own income engine from scratch. That is a whole other level of leverage, and we'll definitely dive into the wild ride of being a founder, pros, cons, and how not to lose your mind in the future videos. For now, maximize that earning power. Number 3, master your financial mind. True financial literacy isn't a one-off, it's an identity. You are someone who commands their financial destiny. This means first conquering the tax code. People find taxes boring, but if you build enough wealth, it will become the biggest lifetime expense you have. You will spend more on taxes than anything. It's not about evasion. It's understanding the rules the wealthy use, maximizing retirement accounts, maximizing deduction, and tax-efficient investing. Ignoring tax planning is like willingly signing up for the pay extra for everything subscription plan in life. You can't control everything about what you earn or how your investments perform week to week, but you can control what you spend. And a big part of that is taxes. It is ground zero for how the wealthy build their share of the pie. Number 4, you need to master your spending and understand your truth about needs versus wants. This is critical. As Housel brilliantly points out, wealth is often what you don't see. You see the fancy car, not the loan statement. You see the big house, not the crushing mortgage or the fact their owner is miserable. We're wired for social comparison, but we're comparing our insides to other people's carefully curated outsides. The Joneses you're trying to keep up with, you don't see their bank account, their stress levels, or their actual happiness. So ditch that game. Behavioral economics teaches us we often spend emotionally, driven by immediate gratification or social pressure, not rational need. Again, Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest men alive, still lives in the same house he bought in the 1950s. And with those savings, over 90% of his wealth was generated after his 50th birthday. A testament to patience. So before you buy anything, ask yourself, is this a genuine need for my security and well-being, or an emotional want fueled by external cues? Mastering this distinction and the ability to ignore external empty pressures is a financial superpower. Number 5, engage reality and champion change. They are parallel paths. Look, capitalism, whether you like it or not, flaws and all, is the system we're living in. Telling yourself you can just opt out of capitalism is like declaring yourself a sovereign nation in your bathtub. Admirable spirit, questionable legal standing, and you still have to pay the water bill. The path isn't to escape it, but to understand its rules and play strategically within it. Simultaneously, if you're passionate about systemic change, advocate for it. But your personal financial plan and your activism are parallel tracks, not dependent ones. This battle plan is a serious undertaking, and I'd love to know which of these 5 points resonates the most with you right now, or which one would you like me to go a lot deeper on? Let me know in the comments. I'm building future content based on what you need. The true price of financial action isn't just missing out on riches. It's the quiet drift towards an old age of dependency, of what ifs. That's a heavy cost for complacency. Look, this battle plan isn't a guarantee you'll become a billionaire. It's about playing a rigged game with clear eyes and sharp elbows, ensuring that when the economic pie grows, your slice grows with it, maybe even faster. It is about building financial resilience, creating options, and designing a life with more autonomy, even within a flawed system. It's about taking control, and that agency, it's priceless. Understanding these dynamics and this battle plan is step 1. Acting on it, that's the lifelong empowering journey. If this deep dive armed you with clarity, hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. And if you haven't already, subscribe and hit that bell notification button. And if you don't subscribe, inflation will probably eat your future savings. Just kidding. Mostly, maybe, I don't know. This journey is about building that freedom, one smart decision at a time. And as always, stay sharp out there. If you love this sort of high-level informative finance videos, then you will definitely want to check out this video I made. It dives into the mechanics that underpin the growing wealth gap in the Western world, revealing the hidden tools that are growing out the billionaire class while hollowing out the middle class. You can find that right over here. Just click on the video on screen to check that one out.